ChatGPT just got sued for inventing fake court cases. Claude just got fired by the US government. And somehow these two stories are the same story. In my previous video, I mentioned Anthropic had a contract with the Pentagon worth $200 million. Claude, their AI, was already embedded in classified military networks. They were already using it. That wasn't disputed. What was disputed was two very specific things.
One is domestic mass surveillance. There, we're worried that things may become possible with AI that weren't possible before. Case number two is fully autonomous weapons. This is the idea of making weapons that fire without any human involvement.
On Tuesday, February 25th, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth demanded Anthropic drop both of those restrictions, and he gave Anthropic Friday the 28th as a deadline. Anthropic said no. At 3 p.m. on Friday 28th, Pete Hegseth tweeted, "Anthropic delivered a masterclass in arrogance and betrayal." He goes on to declare Anthropic a supply chain risk to national security. A designation, by the way, that has never been publicly applied to an American company before. So the message was clear: you either comply or we will destroy you. But here's where it gets even more absurd. On that exact same Friday, while Anthropic was being publicly humiliated, Sam Altman was secretly negotiating with the Pentagon. He specifically stated, "Two of our most important safety principles are prohibitions on domestic mass surveillance and human responsibility for the use of force, including for autonomous weapons systems," ending the tweet with, "We remain committed to serve all of humanity as best we can." Apparently, OpenAI and the government are perfectly aligned on the exact same two principles that led to the government declaring Anthropic a national security threat. Make that make sense. But consider the timing. Just one day prior, OpenAI announced a $110 billion funding round, one of the largest in tech history, including $30 billion from NVIDIA and $50 billion from Amazon. To raise that kind of money, you need a justification, and OpenAI doesn't have revenue. What they have is $1.4 trillion in deals they can't pay for. So what's the play here? Find a customer with unlimited funds who become so dependent on your product that they can't let you fail. A customer who is, say, $38 trillion in debt? Of course I'm talking about the US government here. If the entire military runs on ChatGPT, then OpenAI becomes too big to fail, which is arguably what they've been trying to achieve this entire time. The public responded almost immediately. ChatGPT uninstall surged 295% in a single day. One-star reviews jumped 775%. Claude hit #1 on the App Store and surpassed ChatGPT in daily downloads for the first time ever. Sam Altman clearly hadn't anticipated this amount of backlash, and on March 3rd, just days after the deal was announced, he tweeted again, "We have been working with the DoD to make some additions in our agreement to make our principles very clear." Weird, because you just told everyone that you're aligned on the exact same principles. "We shouldn't have rushed to get it out on Friday. I think it just looked opportunistic and sloppy." But the important part is at the bottom of this tweet. "We will host an all-hands tomorrow morning to answer more questions." That all-hands was leaked, and it explains everything. In the meeting, Altman suggested that if OpenAI didn't take the deal, Elon Musk's xAI might step in and tell the Pentagon, "We'll do whatever you want." So the justification becomes, if we don't do it, someone worse will. Here's the key point from this meeting. When his own employees showed discomfort in how ChatGPT would be used, Sam Altman told employees, "The Pentagon made clear to the company that it doesn't get to make operational decisions regarding how its artificial intelligence technology is used by the Department of Defense." This is the exact opposite of what he has publicly claimed in both of his tweets. And inside OpenAI, the head of their robotics division, Caitlin Kalinowski, resigned. She said, "Surveillance of Americans without judicial oversight and lethal autonomy without human authorization are lines that deserved more deliberation than they got." Now, here's where the story becomes something else entirely. On Friday, February 28th, after Hegseth banned Claude and OpenAI signs with the Pentagon, that same Friday evening, the United States and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, a joint military operation targeting dozens of officials, including the supreme leader and senior military members. And the AI selecting those targets? Claude. Palantir's Maven system, which has access to satellite imagery, drone feeds, and vast surveillance data, uses Claude to synthesize all of it. According to the Washington Post, as planning for a potential strike in Iran was underway, Maven, powered by Claude, suggested hundreds of targets. One of those strikes hit an elementary school, resulting in multiple fatalities. Was that Claude's recommendation, or was that a human's decision?
The AI systems of today are nowhere near reliable enough to make fully autonomous weapons. Anyone who's worked with AI models understands that there's a basic unpredictability to them that in a purely technical way we have not solved.
On the same day, the US government publicly humiliated Anthropic, declared them a national security threat, and handed their $200 million contract to a competitor. And then by midnight, they used Anthropic's Claude to strike a country that had already been deemed not a threat. The US government says it will take roughly 6 months to transition away from Claude. Fine, but let's look at what's replacing it. On March 4th, just days after it was announced that Claude was losing its job to ChatGPT, a company called Nippon Life Insurance filed a lawsuit against OpenAI in federal court. The lawsuit centers around a woman who had settled a long-term disability claim in 2024 but felt her attorney had misled her. She uploaded her and her attorney's conversations to ChatGPT, and unsurprisingly, ChatGPT validated her concerns, convincing her to fire her entire legal team, and then helping her attempt to reopen her case by generating dozens of motions, pages of legal documents, and citations to support her arguments. Notably, none of those citations exist. ChatGPT made everything up. The lawsuit seeks $10.3 million in punitive damages and accuses OpenAI of the unauthorized practice of law. So on the same day, Sam Altman is telling his employees that military operational decision-making belongs to the government, not OpenAI. On that same day, OpenAI is sued because ChatGPT is pretending to be a lawyer, fabricating legal cases. And now that same AI has access to military intelligence. What could possibly go wrong? And just to be clear, Anthropic is not the hero of this story.
Anthropic actually has been the most lean forward of all the AI companies in working with the US government and working with the US military. We were the first company to, put our models on the classified cloud. And so we have said to the Department of War that we are okay with all use cases, basically 98 or 99% of the use cases they want to do.
The question was never which AI company has better values. The question is whether any of this means anything at all. Because on the same day the US government banned an AI for having principles, they used that exact AI to strike a country. With no congressional oversight, no public opinion, debate, or accountability. And now they've replaced that AI with one that fabricates court cases. I mean, what exactly are the guardrails guarding?
I deleted ChatGPT from my phone today and I feel better. However, I did start to find myself become more and more reliant on it. I found myself every time I did something, I would get ChatGPT out and go, hey, so this just happened and this is the decision I made. What do you think? And being like, okay. And like most of the time it would agree with me anyway. So yesterday I just deleted it and I woke up today, I'm like, wow, I feel better.